Hello everybody, welcome back to Nat Scraps. My name is Natalie and I am a close to my heart maker, and today we are continuing working on with our Are We There Yet collection and using up all the scraps. Now, if you guys have seen the other videos, you'll know all the information about this. We've made the kit and now we're just using up the bits and pieces that are left behind. If you haven't seen the other videos, it will be linked below, along with lots of information about the stamp sets we've used, and the playlist will be linked, and all those good things will be linked below. Now, starting right off, you see me there typing on the keyboard. Normally I would edit things like that out, but that was essential to the whole story of this layout, really. And I've got this photo of my friend Kerry, and Kerry and myself have known each other for quite a few years. We scrapbooked with the same company for quite a long time, and we had been really good friends via long distance. And every now and then Kerry would come to Victoria. So she's in South Australia, I'm in Victoria, and every now and then she would come to Victoria. And what I was doing when I was hitting that keyboard is I was just sending her a little message going, Kerry, I'm just scrapbooking a layout with you and me in it from one of your visits, and I just want to know if I can put your photo on YouTube, or whether you would like your face covered up. So I had sent that message off. That was me typing away there right at the start of the video, and she will eventually get back to me during this video. Now, I feel very, very blessed that I have somebody that when they come to Victoria, they'll take a day or so out of their schedule, and I'm about an hour and a half from the city, from Melbourne, the city. So to come down to me and spend time with me is a big chunk of their time in Victoria. And quite often I'll get a text during the summer saying, I'll be over for the Grand Prix, and do you want to spend a day scrapbooking, or do you want to have lunch, or things like that. And it's so nice when I get those texts that she wants to come over, spend some time and hang out. And I feel really blessed, and everything that went into this layout was inspired a bit by Kerry, because she loves to travel, she loves to get out and do things. She's so thoughtful, and she's an amazing friend, very creative and all that. But a lot of the little tags that we made in the last video, which do appear here, really relate to me and her. So everything on this really worked well for the photos, for the layout, and how, yeah, just it worked. It was a fantastic layout to make. So meantime, I've started making this layout, and I've covered Kerry's face up because I don't know if I have permission for her to be on YouTube at this stage. And I'm pulling in things. There's a tag that's up the top there at the moment, and it says, killing it, incredible memories, we go way back, and so this happened. And I really like that tag because I think that works really, really well with us. I'm looking through the Picture My Life cards, and I'm looking for things that I know will work well. There's a globe there, some suitcases, and we've got this Born to Travel, and I kind of stop and go, yeah, that's Kerry to a T. She's born to travel, and she's always on her way somewhere. And I kind of went to pull that one out, and then I didn't. I'm going to fussy cut the globe and the suitcase, and then I'm going to go back to this Born to Travel and have another little look at that. And I'm like, yeah, I reckon I can use that on here. I reckon that's perfect as well. So I've grabbed a few things that I'm going to make embellishments of. If you hadn't seen my other videos in this series, I have the Picture My Life cards that I've added to my kit when I start. I've made the kit up, and this is what I'm using to create a whole heap of pages. Now, I do have it's not a competition, but I have a little thing going. Leave in the comments how many layouts you think I get out of the leftovers of this kit. I do add some base pages, and I think one sheet of glacier somewhere along the line, but I'd love to know. And to those that have already left comments, feel free to have a second guess, or let me know what you guessed in the first couple of videos. there's the suitcases that I've done. I've fussy cutted that globe out, and you'll notice I am just moving things out, auditioning them for different spots in the layout, trying to figure out exactly where all these bits might fit. And I try a few different things. I try clusters down the bottom. I try a straight line for a little while there, and I'm just feeling my way to what will work. And generally this process, it does take a little while. I'm not a fast scrapper by any means. I don't just sit down and it magically works for me. I generally go through this whole process of moving things around for a long time before I get to what I really, really like. So here we're going with the suitcase now, Born to Travel, and I fussy cut that one out, and I'm going to try a little spot for that. The one thing that threw me off about these photos that I did try a couple of times to cover up is that pink trimmer that's down on the left-hand corner of the photo. It did stand out. I wasn't so fussed about the red and the blue in my jumper. Kerry, of course, is wearing the perfect colour, and but that pink trimmer I kept wanting to hide it, but in the end I just left it there. It does show that we're scrapbooking, so generally if she comes down to my house for a day, we'll spend a day creating and making cards or layouts or something and playing with product. So that there are other photos off to the side, and I think we'd taken some photos of some cards that we had made on that particular occasion when she'd come down. So in a moment here, I am going to start moving all this to the right hand side. So up until this point, I've had all the clusters sort of on the right. I'm going to move that photo over in a moment, and that is going to really help the layout move along. The other thing that I was struggling with a lot of the time here was there was a lot of white space, and I know there's a couple of my other scrappy friends out there, hello Cal, that don't like white space at all. I don't mind white space. I like a little bit of white space, but this one was throwing me a little bit of too much white space, and I do fix that a little bit later. That's where I tried changing it all up here and doing a strip of little tags on the vertical there, and I think that would really work for a nice border if you had, say, 3x4 photos along the top there, or yeah, if you had 3 or 4 photos, or even 2 6x6s across there, and that straight border would work really, really well along the bottom, and then you could have a border piece up the top. So it is an idea for another time, but not this one. Here we go, moving that over, and we're going to try building the cluster on this other side now and see if that works. I really, really love all the tags that I got to create. They were so much fun. If you haven't seen that video, it's a quick video that I made, the last one, the one that went up, sorry, before this one, and it just shows you me making all the little tags and bits and pieces, and basically it's just leftover scraps of coloured paper along with the stamp sets, and all those stamp sets will be linked below, or pop back and see the other video where you can see them all in action now. I'm determined to get a couple of these different things on. Definitely that Killin' It tag that I made, because it just seems perfect for my page. So I keep moving that and bringing it on, and that Born to Travel suitcase is definitely staying. I definitely have my mind set on that one as well. And the majority of the things that I am moving around now, the tags change up every now and then between bits and pieces, but majority of what is on there now is how it will stay on the layout, on the finished layout. The little strip there I also made when I did the tags in the last video, and it says blessed, 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 and truly do think I'm extremely blessed to have so many scrappy friends out there that support me and that I am in contact with all the time. I really am very blessed by that. I'm just putting a piece of white paper there just to see what that's going to look like when I cut off that end strip of that green rather than cutting it off first. And I'm looking at the tags up the top. I like that little cluster up the top, but it needs something to anchor the cluster. I've got this little strip that says happy, 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 and I'm thinking that's perfect. Now, here I am back on the computer, and that is because Kerry has messaged me back and she said, yeah, you can show my photo on YouTube. So I had taken that little piece of paper off, and I'm also sending her a photo and going, this is what I'm creating, and I'll send you a photo when it's finished. We'd had a bit more of a yak, and lo and behold, she said to me, guess what? I'm going to be in Victoria in a couple of weeks. I went, yay, that's exciting. And then she said, I've got fully jam-packed. I'm doing this, this, and this on these days. She goes, but I have got a day that I'm going to the tennis, and if you want to come along, that would be great. And I went, yep, sounds good to me. Let's go. So I spent a lot of the time in and out that I've had to cut out here now, booking tennis tickets and organising myself so that I can meet her in the city and watch the tennis. So I'm excited and can't wait for that. I finally decided to bite the bullet there and start putting this page together and cutting those strips down to the right size. So I'm going to pop it all here, and then to be honest, I re-put everything back on the page, and then I will take it all back off again. And I think I've cut a little bit of that footage out because I kind of set it all back up and fussed with it for a bit longer, and then realized I needed to do a few other things before I had hid everything. So I took it all back off. So here's, I fussed it all back on. I'd cut that all out, and then I'm realizing, yep, we need to take all this stuff away, and I'm going to draw a border around the outside edge. And I believe I've done this on a few of the layouts in this series, where it just helps to ground the page and give the page like an area that it is working in, rather than having such a big open space to the edges. And then I'm realizing that another thing that I can do to take away that extra white space or the starkness of it is to add a little bit of shimmer brush in the corners that are going to have the clusters. So I've come in here with the sapphire shimmer brush, and I just add a little sprinkling of those in the corners. I go to use this one, which I believe is Glacier, and it just didn't look right. The green didn't look right. So I go off and I find the papaya one, and I look at that and I go to put it on, and I realize it's looks quite orange for some reason on my page. So I just add just the tiniest little sprinkle of it. It does look all right and didn't turn orange, but I had this icky feeling for a second it was going to be really orange, but it did dry a good color. And once I've done that, I am now going to pop this all back together. There'll be a tiny few things that I'm going to change along the way. I am going to use this foam to mount up the photo, give it a bit of dimension, and then I'm going to add a few of the different pieces as we go and give them dimension as well. Pop that zip strip down, and when I was going back and editing this video, I'm like, oh my golly gosh, please tell me that I fixed that zip strip up, because it is as crooked as crooked as crooked. And thank goodness I did go back and I did fix that zip strip up before I hit the glued down and finished button. Here I'm just cut off one of those little words that says blessed and pop that on the tag on the side, just to give it some more bits and pieces up there. Here we go. Thank goodness we're straightening that zip strip up. I'm going to bring a few of the embellishments. Here with the suitcase, I didn't like how that was still solid in the middle, so I'm just going to do a little bit of cutting with my X-Acto knife, take out that little bit in the center of the handles. But when I'm going to attach that suitcase, I am going to, I do that after this, but I'm adding a little bow to this tag. But then I realized that I want a bit of dimension on the suitcase, but I don't want it all over the top exactly. So I'm putting a little bit of glue down the bottom, and I'm adding some foam mounts around the area. Now those are tiny little foam mounts. I've been using them throughout this series. That like half a centimeter by half a centimeter. They're tiny, but I have heaps and heaps of them, and I'm going to use them up, guys. I want them gone. So even on big things, I'm just throwing hundreds of them on there until I've used up all of those foam mounts. I'm adding a tag to the other side as well, where I have got Good Friends and Great Adventures, and that is going to work really nicely over there. Then at the top, we're going to add these tags, and I will put a little bit of foam tape on those words happy, 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 and mount them up onto a little bit of cardstock that's laying there as well to give it a little bit of color behind it. So I try out this yellow, go that there's not that much yellow everywhere else, so I go back to this little piece of green paper that isn't offcut from another page, and I'm going to add that one to the top as well. So this is getting really close to finished, guys. Please feel free to leave a comment, as I said earlier, about the how many layouts you think that I am going to get. So this is layout 3, so we know it's going to be more than 3. And check out the comments and the description below. That will have the stamp sets, the playlists, and everything like that. As I said before, this layout is so close. I'm just going to add this tiny little happy tag to the suitcase so it looks like it's a little luggage tag. And then I'm going to add a bow to the top left hand embellishment cluster. I'm kind of looking at it going, it's complete, it's done, I'm done, but it does need a little bow up in that top embellishment cluster. And I do also end up changing out one of those, the little tag that says love, for one that says Good Friends and Great Adventures, which I thought, even though it's down the bottom as well, worked better. Thank you guys so much for watching. There'll be a couple of still shots and close-ups at the end, but thanks guys, and I will see you on the next one. Take care and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Bye. Oops, nearly forgot. Thanks Kerry for making this possible. Bye.